right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Well, we finally started to see the rain that settled in on this Christmas Eve night, and this steady stream of moisture continues. As we look off to the southwest, we'll talk about more rain for Christmas Day and why it's just the start of several chances the rest of the week.
Tonight, violence can often rip apart Christmas joy.
People are struggling. It's hard out here today.
One group's mission to help the hurting. Plus, wrecking the halls, a major pipe burst at a local nonprofit.
The need is so great right now.
Their call to the community to keep them above water. Now at 10, we begin with a live look over downtown St. Louis. We're monitoring Santa's every move on the real-time NORAD tracker. Looks like right now he's flying, he's actually above Quebec right now. We'll have to navigate a little rain, though, when he comes to our area. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon, in for Mike and Kelly. Let's waste no time and get your holiday weather impact forecast. Meteorologist Gary Frank joining us now with that.
Yeah, good evening, Brent. Still a little foggy outside as it's progressively gotten more foggy as the rain has picked up. Some heavy drizzle settling in, and always these cameras make it look a lot worse than it really is because there's some pretty decent visibility at the surface, but still, it's foggy outside. You're going to continue to see that. This steady stream of rain that's working its way to the north is started to pick up a little bit. It's been mainly to the south throughout the day, but you're starting to see that pick up a little bit in downtown along some of the interstates to the north from 64, close to the airport, Creve Coeur, Granite City. You'll see those pockets of a light to moderate rain. It's a heavy drizzle. It's something that we've been kind of dealing with. You'll still see there's a little break, but I still think there's some drizzle there. And then further to the north, like I mentioned, this is where we started to pick this up a little bit more, and that's where I think is going to continue here into the overnight hours. We can barely see the arch, about half of it. That's where you know the visibility is down just a little bit. Temps, of course, still have not changed a lot. It's still 42 with a northeast breeze at around 6 miles an hour. Our fog is actually around. We have under 2 mile visibility and a lot of spots out there. The rest of the evening, we'll see temps hold steady or even climb a little bit, but rain is in the forecast for Christmas. We'll talk about the rainiest periods of the holiday and what we can expect over the next few days.
All right, we'll see you then, Gary. New tonight, a sudden pipe burst ruins truckloads of furniture at an area nonprofit. It happened during one of their busiest times of year. 5 on your side's Laura Bachewski is just back from Home Sweet Home. And Laura, they're really leaning on the community right now.
They are, Brent. Home Sweet Home staff tell me they are grateful for the community's help so far, and they've already received a lot of it, but they still have a ways to go to replace everything they lost.
'Twas the weekend before Christmas when all through the Home Sweet Home warehouse not a creature was stirring. It was quiet as a mouse. Until Sunday that changed. A pipe had burst and they assumed the worst.
We had someone come into the warehouse and they heard an alarm going off, saw the big waterfall happening in the warehouse, and notified our staff, and they were pretty quick to rush over here, clean everything up, move all of the other furniture out of the way so that we could prevent further damage.
Here's what was lost.
Most of the things that we lost were pillows and mattresses and then dressers. I believe it was 77 mattresses, 27 kids dressers, and over 300 bed pillows.
And Home Sweet Home's Katie Trimble says it had to be tossed.
So I think we had about 6 truckloads of unsalvageable items that we had to take to the landfill.
The furniture was then stacked by the staff with care in hopes that families soon could be there.
Around this time of year, we have so many different agencies trying to house as many people as possible because it's the winter months, it's getting colder. So we have a lot of people being referred to us and they need a bed, you know?
The community sprang up to answer the call.
This kind of was a little bit of a setback, but because of how amazing everyone is and how quick our staff was, we actually were still able to serve families.
They donated lots of pillows, but all in all, there's still a big need, especially at a time when donations are on the decline.
If anyone has any furniture items, any household items that they can donate right now, that would be incredible.
And this Christmas, like many before, they're thankful to all.
We really wouldn't be able to operate without everyone in St. Louis that's always there for us, from our volunteers to staff to donors, and we're just so grateful.
If you'd like to help, you can find several ways to donate to Home Sweet Home in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
Laura Bachesky reporting tonight. Developing now, we've learned the man charged with hitting 6 people in the Ted Drewes parking lot pled not guilty. Police say 19-year-old Rasul Al-Janabi drove into 5 people at the Ted Drewes parking lot and then hit an off-duty police officer while backing out. A judge put Janabi on house arrest and ordered him to wear a GPS device. He'll be back in court next Tuesday. Tonight, an off-duty police officer hurt in that crash is now out of the hospital. Officer Matt Cooper was trying to help people get out of the way when he ended up getting hit. He had to get staples in his head and surgery on his knee. Now, a group called the Chief Mason Griffith Foundation is helping with his medical expenses.
We recognize people that go above and beyond, and he, of course, is one of those type of officers that always goes above and beyond, and he builds relationships with the students, and like Chief Sight said, he will help anybody at any time.
And a fundraiser for Cooper has already raised more than $6,000. If you'd like to donate, you can find the link on KSDK.com in the As Seen on TV section. We're working to learn more after a police car crashed into a Webster Groves home. This happened around midnight on Holland Avenue near Lorraine Davis Park. Most of the damage appears to be to the front porch. Webster Groves police confirm an officer was driving the car. We've been trying to get you answers all day about what happened here. Police say they will provide updates later this week. Our questions include whether anyone was hurt. We still don't know. We'll let you know when we do. Right now, most of St. Charles City is under a boil advisory expected to last through Christmas morning. City officials say this applies to anyone living north of I-70 and south of Highway 370. It's due to a water main break on Cole Boulevard that happened early this morning. Many in that area woke up to find their water cut off. It was restored around 1:30 this afternoon. Neighbors tell us they're trying to not let this affect their holidays.
It's tough, but you know what? One way or another, we will make Christmas happen. And regardless of where it is, it'll be special.
Crews are still investigating what caused that break. The advisory could be lifted in the morning. Today, we've learned St. Louis County prosecutors will move forward with criminal charges against a county clerk. A grand jury indicted Diane Valenti earlier this month. We've learned she is being charged with felony forgery and several misdemeanors, including tampering with computer data and making a false declaration. The charges stem from her role in the hiring of Councilman Dennis Hancock's stepdaughter, who has since parted ways. Valenti's attorney tells us she was only doing her job and that they will ask to have this case dismissed. She's due in court next month. Developing tonight, workers at a third St. Louis area Starbucks are going on strike. Workers at the Lindbergh and Clayton location walked off the job and picketed outside today. They're joining that national strike, which started on Friday. 2 other local stores have joined that effort. Workers tell us they're fighting for better pay and benefits.
It's really frustrating. It's also really sad to feel like people who say that they care about you, companies, politicians just don't. It really feels sad.
Starbucks claims union demands are, quote, not sustainable. In a statement, a spokesperson said, Workers United delegates prematurely ended our bargaining session this week. It is disappointing they didn't return to the table, given the progress we've made to date. The company originally said the strike would only last until Christmas Eve. Showing love to those impacted by gun violence. That was the mission of a local group that spent the day putting smiles on children's faces. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend reports on these holiday helpers.
It was a special Christmas Eve delivery. Rochelle Dampierre and her family members pulled up to this home in North St. Louis, their arms, hands, and cars filled with lots of toys.
We just wanted to do it as a family so that somebody else's holiday could be happy like ours.
How you doing?
Santa's helpers on a surprise mission.
So we just decided to bless this family.
In a big way, the Dampierres teamed up with St. Louis community activist Precious Jones and her nonprofit Breaking Generational Poverty Foundation.
So whatever piece that we can help with, that's, the goal.
To spread peace, love, and holiday cheer to 3 little ones who lost their dad to gun violence 2 years ago. The Dampierres adopted the family for the holidays and showered the 3 9 and 11-year-olds with bags and bags of toys.
Mama, the baby! That's the goal, to help throughout the season. Whoever my nephew selects, then that's who we try and bless.
Precious Jones' 20-year-old son, Preston Jones, and her 19-year-old nephew, Corey Blackwell, were both murdered 3 years ago.
So I do know that holidays are really, really hard for grieving families. And just to see the smiles on everyone else's face, it made me have a Merry Christmas.
Truly a Merry Christmas, these kiddos.
Say thank you. Oh, you're so sweet.
And their mom will treasure. Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And this was the second year of that gift giveaway. Jones and her team are hoping to surprise even more children next year. Well, in the season of giving, a Metro East community is coming together to help a paramedic diagnosed with cancer. Ryan Hodge was diagnosed with hairy cell leukemia earlier this month. With medical bills growing, first responders held a toy drive to make sure he and his family still had a happy holiday. They even got Santa and Mrs. Claus to show up. There they are, to hand deliver those gifts.
I was expecting, when they said they're going to do this, just maybe an ambulance, couple of vehicles, not, my gosh, a whole caravan full of people that, care about us that much. It's just indescribable, the feeling.
First responders also united to help pay for 6 months of Hodge's mortgage. A school custodian not just cleaning the halls, but also clearing a path.
There's nothing better than pouring into the life of our future.
He's looking out for me, and that's a big thing for me.
How he's pushing students to a brighter future.
Well, temperatures don't exactly feel like Christmas Eve outside as we got to 50 degrees earlier today. In fact, that was way early in the morning. If that cold air is going to settle in anytime soon, and why we're going to see temperatures even warmer as we head into the weekend.
We're continuing to look back at some of the people making a difference in our community. Mike Bush shows us one custodian who's not just cleaning hallways, but paving the way to brighter futures.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
Now to a reminder that you don't need a high-paying job or a fancy title to make a profound impact on the lives of others. In tonight's Making a Difference report, the school custodian who is helping to clean up obstacles that stand between students and their dreams.
Thanks for just a wonderful year of service unto St. Louis Public Schools.
In a room filled with hopeful faces, an unlikely hero was about to work his magic.
I want to say this to you.
Not with a wand or a spell, but with a mop and a heart of gold.
Okay.
Meet George Love, the custodian at Walbridge Elementary in the St. Louis School District. He cleans the hallways and clears the way for students to see a brighter future.
I feel the pulse beat of these kids, when they walk through the school.
Y'all been good to your teachers?
In 2017, while earning less than $12 an hour,
Eating up all your food?
his faith handed him a new master key
Fist bump.
to unlock the potential of the students he saw every day.
Hello, kids. How y'all doing?
He says God told him to make a difference for those kids.
My wife asked me, she said, well, what do you mean you heard God? And I said, I heard him distinctly, audibly speak to me. Audibly? You gotta be kidding me, George.
How do the kids react to you knowing?
Despite having a leaky roof and overdue bills, George set out to turn his modest means into life-changing opportunities. By moonlighting as a Lyft driver, he began funding $500 college scholarships, enough for a senior to buy a new laptop. It was during one of these Lyft rides that fate introduced him to Taj Marie Lane.
He was telling me about his program and how I should look at it, look into it.
This will make 107 scholarships.
4 years ago, Taj Marie lost her North Star when her grandfather passed away.
So we reach out.
But she says in George, she found a new guiding light.
Now that he's gone, I'm glad I have another person that can look out for me. Even though he doesn't know me, he's looking out for me, and that's a big thing for me, because not too many people would do that.
Next we have Joshawn Owens.
Since he started his scholarship program 7 years ago, George Love has swept 107 students onto a path paved with possibilities. These aren't the straight A students with other scholarships, but students who work hard, like Taj Marie.
There's nothing better than pouring into the life of our future and changing the trajectory of their mindset and letting them see that where they at isn't always where it's gonna be.
For George Love, being a custodian isn't just about keeping a school clean.
We have Jamon Aneska.
It's about scrubbing out the challenges that stand in the way of students' dreams.
I don't know where it's going, but I just want to stay focused and know that I dedicate my life to doing this.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our 2024 scholars, and we've done that this year.
Ensuring that every student has a chance to shine brighter than they ever thought possible.
With help from donations, George eventually hopes to expand his scholarship program to other cities, and he even gave out some scholarships in Seattle, where he used to live. And a reminder, if you know someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
Awesome report. Well, maybe the holidays will bring some extra guests to your dinner table. Well, with them, extra stains. While the internet is full of laundry hacks, some of them might do more harm than good. Consumer Report separating fact from fiction with the best ways to handle holiday stains. Let's check back in with Mike.
Susan Simett loves to host during the holidays, and she doesn't let spills on her tablecloth ruin the party.
It's a little hard to stop and remove them. So I sort of hope that we can get them out later.
CR's laundry experts know the key to saving your tablecloth from those buttery sauces, sticky desserts, and wine spills is to pre-treat stains. And the good, money-saving news is you don't need a special product. Laundry detergent will work just fine. In CR's test, Tide Ultra Plus Stain Release earned excellent pre-treating stain scores. When you're ready, toss it in the wash as usual, but make sure the stain is gone before putting it in the dryer.
The heat of a dryer can set the stain forever. So if after washing you still see the gravy, dab it with 3% strength hydrogen peroxide and line dry the item in the sun. The sun can actually bleach the remainder out.
When it comes to wine, blotting is key. For red wine, do it as soon as possible. Mix warm water and liquid dish detergent and work the soap into the stain. Then apply plenty of hydrogen peroxide and set the fabric in the sun for several hours. The sugars in white wine will cause an ugly brown stain over time. To prevent that, blot out the liquid, then blot it again with liquid detergent and warm water. Then blot once more with a dry towel.
Another stain that responds to that detergent and warm water mixture is chocolate. If it's on your tablecloth or napkins, blot it and just get out as much of it as you can, then put them in the soak cycle of your washing machine before laundering.
And no matter what you've heard, never use anything other than a dedicated laundry detergent in your washing machine. That's especially true for vinegar, which can damage some washing machine's rubber seals and hoses. Your holiday memories won't fade, but with these tips, those stains sure can.
And one last tip, Consumer Report suggests you save money on fabric softener by just skipping it. It can leave a layer of residue on your fabrics, irritate sensitive skin, and reduce the absorption of your towels. Let's get your holiday forecast now. What will Christmas look like?
Like almost exactly like this, Brent.
Yeah.
It's almost the same.
All right.
Yeah, it's like if we just rub our eyes and wake up at Christmas morning, it's going to look exactly like this. This is the closest we're going to get to snow, and you can actually see now the icy layer that's over the top of this stuff here as we continue to stay above freezing and it rains. From Cuba, Highland, and Farmington, it's still wet though. That's what you would expect here. Also, a low ceiling right over the arch. It's 42 degrees. We got to 50 today, and really that was early. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we fell, and then we got back up into the mid-40s the rest of the day. It's been kind of an odd day, but once again, not below freezing, and we're not expected to be. We've got most of this rain that continues off and on throughout. You're getting a little bit of a break in intensity and coverage in Farmington and some of our areas to the south, but closer to the city, that's where we have a pretty steady diet of this light to moderate rain that's going to continue here. You'll see that anywhere from 70, and you work closer to Oakville, Mascoutah, 64, New Athens. That's where it's starting to lighten up just a little bit. But like I said, this is where most of the rain was early. It's tapered off to more of a heavy drizzle or anything like that. This is what it's going to look like throughout the day for us tomorrow as we head into the afternoon. Expect more rain that kind of settles in. Let's start with tonight. I think you're going to wake up with temps in the low to mid 40s. Got showers around, and the rain will continue. Like I said, starting off tomorrow, a lot of the same. Gloom, fog, light rain continues. By midday, maybe a little break, but then more widespread rain may start to work its way in. But like I said, the further east and southeast you are, the better opportunity you're going to see more of this. On the other edge of things, it's more of a heavy drizzle as we continue to see maybe pockets of rain through the nighttime, and then eventually things settle down. I think overall, though, you're going to look at temps still working their way in the upper 40s, right around 50 degrees. Rain is around, but keep that in mind. It's just going to be with us. And then once again, once that rain leaves, we're looking at the steady line of rain with showers and storms. And then we get that break on Thursday, even though it looks like it's going to rain a little bit more. And then we're going to see another line of rain further off to our south. And that, I think, is going to give us another round of thunderstorms by Friday into Saturday. Sign of the times as we continue to get warmer, but I do expect that most of us will see upwards of an inch by Saturday night when it eventually does quit raining, and we may not dip below freezing the rest of the year. For the next few days, we prove that by looking at 49 tomorrow and 45 Thursday morning. 62, 61, even after those storms Friday morning. I think we may clear out the rest of the day, and then eventually we'll see temperatures that continue to stay in the 60s. And then eventually, I think by Tuesday, another chance for rain, as it eventually is going to get cold, I think, at some point. But we're just not there just yet.
Yeah, just put those heavy coats away.
Yeah, for now. For now. You'll need them the start of the year, but it's going to be wet. It's a good day to sit inside, which most of us are doing anyway.
Thank you, Gary. We appreciate it. We'll still had several rounds of disappointment for St. Louis sports fans this year, but there are some bright spots worth remembering. Corey Miller is next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Hello there, I'm Corey Miller. Thanks for dropping by on this Christmas Eve. It hasn't always been a holly jolly sports scene in St. Louis in 2024, but there's still plenty to be thankful for in sports this holiday season. Let's take a look back and a look into the future. It was the night before Christmas and all through St. Louis. Not a player was stirring, not even Contreras. The stockings were hung at Energizer Park with care, in hopes that Santa Claus soon would be there. At Busch, the results were once again poor. It's a stretch we've never seen from the Cardinals before. It will be a new day in 2025 with a youth movement in swing, while fans still dream of that 12th ring. The Blues shook up the scene in 2024. The Offer Sheet Boys have been what we hoped for and more. The arrival of Monty made quite a splash. Now the playoff push is on and the future is coming fast. Lutz has been busy for City SC, bringing in a new head coach and a player, or 3. Mizzou football put another fun year on the books, including some final memories from Touchdown Luther and Brady Cook. On the court, the Tigers had a border war to remember, and Dennis Gates has his squad focused on being contenders. Bielema and Underwood are on fire in Champaign, with another bragging rights title for the Illini to claim. The Shirts era at SLU has been tough to begin, but with Avila on the court, there's still reason to grin. It's a new day at quarterback for the team that yells "Caw-caw," with Duggan and company ready to lay down the law. The high school sports scene is as talented as we can remember, with Incarnate's Miracle Man also back on the court this December. So on this Christmas Eve, be thankful for sports in the Lou, and all the good times they still bring to you. And as Santa Claus zooms past the arch and out of sight, hear him exclaim, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night."
Thank you, Corey. A holiday heist that didn't go as planned. See the police chase that may have just saved Christmas. Well, take a look at this dog who's going viral and going straight to the naughty list. Broggy, the golden retriever, stole Santa's hat. And then when he wouldn't give it back during a photo op, it wasn't good. His owner swears he had plenty of training classes, but he seemed to be only excited to see Saint Nick. A Christmas chase caught on camera. Illinois police brought down the Grinch after catching him trying to steal the city's Christmas tree. He said he just wanted to borrow it, but they didn't buy that. Right now, he's spending the holidays in the city's detention center. Maybe where he belongs.
Looks like they had snow on the ground there.
Yeah.
Something.
Not here, though.
Not here. Not yet. Not cold enough for that. We're going to continue to look at wet conditions the rest of the night and throughout the day. I think you're going to see a pretty steady diet of rain off and on throughout the day tomorrow. Heavy drizzle. It's foggy out there right now, though, so keep that in mind as we head into the overnight hours. We'll probably see that in the morning, and then temps are in the low 60s by the weekend as we continue to have a few showers and storms. So,
all right. We will be prepared. Thank you. That is all of our time for 5 on Your Side at 10, but we're always streaming on 5+. For all of us here, we hope you have a very happy holiday.